Welcome back to American Sunrise. Coffee pods are easy, but most of them are just caffeine and nothing else. Rejuvenate pods are built differently. They're clean pods infused with CAAKG, a compound linked to longevity, metabolism, and deep cellular energy. It's the easiest way to get better focus, smoother energy, and long-term benefits without changing your routine. I choose them because they match the lifestyle I want: more energy, more clarity, and more intention in how I start my day. If you're going to drink coffee anyway, make it one that actually supports the life you're building. Head to 1775coffee.com/Rav and try Rejuvenate pods today. Don't just drink coffee, rejuvenate. All right, let's send it over to Dr. Gina.
Thanks, Emily. Now that we are caffeinated, it's time to stay awake, not woke. I'll tell you something, our chat gets stirred up over things. Nothing stirs them up, like you say the name, Tina Peters. She has been in prison, will remain there, a state prison, after a federal judge rejected her request yesterday for release while she appeals her conviction. She was sentenced to 9 years for allowing unauthorized access to voting machines, part of an investigation into alleged 2020 election fraud. The judge ruled federal courts lack jurisdiction to overrule the state conviction at this stage. Her request for bond was denied. Ridiculous, you guys. This is a Gold Star mom. She's a threat to literally no one. Let's bring in independent journalist, producer, and the host of Truth Matters, Apollo Pappas. Apollo, you were recommended by my friend Brenda King, who is a close friend of Tina's, who's been fighting for her release from day one. What can be done? Let's just start at the end, okay? What can be done? Some say President Trump can't do anything because this is a state issue. Some say there may be an avenue there. What can be done? Aside from us screaming at the top of our lungs and posting free Tina Peters all over our social media and on our shows, what can we do?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on, and thank you to everyone who is screaming from the top of their lungs, because Tina Peters does need to be freed, and we need to keep doing that. I'm honestly a bit split now that her habeas has been dismissed. And personally, I find that ridiculous as well, because it was filed in February. I mean, this has been 10 months now that habeas track has been going on. The younger abstention was brought in by the AG late. It could have been filed much earlier. I don't understand, in God's name, why the judge accepted the constitutional issues and granted that the First Amendment piece had been exhausted at the state level only to kick it back to the state. So that really makes no sense, and I think it was exceptionally cowardly. I'm very disappointed in that. Now we have really the pardon, which that letter has been sent to President Trump publicly, and of course, her being pulled out as a federal witness. Personally, I believe the way is going to be to bring her out as a federal witness. She absolutely applies. She should be one. She found herself essentially unknowingly in the middle of a giant RICO investigation that involved Dominion, corrupt officials who had been running a scheme to control the vote of the American people through Mesa County, in conjunction with Dominion and the Secretary of State, Jenna Griswold, DA Dan Rubenstein, Matt Crane, through the Colorado County Clerks Association. It's a giant racket, and Tina stepped right into the hornet's nest, which is why she's been persecuted so hard. She's the only one who preserved the before and after forensic image. But truthfully, I think the pardon is a bit of a trap for President Trump, because now that the habeas has been denied, he can't. What does he do? If he says, no, I'm not going to sign it, because that would likely be federal overreach, everyone's going to tear into him for betraying Tina Peters. If he does, I fear that there's going to be another court lock situation where it's going to have to be adjudicated up to the Supreme Court. And personally, I'm not as hopeful as some that it's going to be a clear cut. Pardon powers extend to state cases. I don't think so.
So I mean,
so
it's really
a bad situation.
Is the only answer here, like Jesus? I mean, literally, is the only answer here that somebody sprouts a heart and a spine and does the right thing and lets this woman, who is no threat to anyone, this Gold Star mom who lost her husband, who suffered from cancer, who is in failing health, is there no answer here but somebody actually get a heart and we just pray for these people? Or what can we activists do? That's what we want to know.
I think we need to be hitting up the DOJ and really putting forward all of the information about the federal involvement in Tina Peters' case and in Mesa County. DA Dan Rubenstein tagged in the FBI months before Tina's sentencing, before this prosecution kicked off. It was well known and communicated with FBI, with officials from DOJ, John Jacobson, and others. And I mean, this was well coordinated. Tina Peters' prosecution itself should be investigated as a criminal operation in order to suppress the information about what she had preserved on those records. And she should be made a federal witness. That at this point, I think, is the clearest cut, simplest, and right way for this to move forward. So DOJ needs to get on it.
So we scream from the top of our lungs that the DOJ needs to make Tina a federal witness. That's where we go with this.
I believe so. Mesa County is listed in Arctic Frost, not Tina Peters specifically, and I think that's intentional.
Got it. Makes so much sense. Apollo, you, I believe, host a show. Am I wrong about that, where you talk about this every day?
Tina Peters, not every day, but we're going to be doing more shows. It's Tina Peters' show. I've produced it for a few years now, and she asked me to keep it going in her stead while she's in prison unjustly. So that's The Truth Matters with Tina Peters. And you can find the links for that on her Rumble, which everything for Tina Peters is at tinapeters.us to support her legal, her socials, and info.
And supporting all of that is very important as well. Apollo Pappas, thank you. God bless you with all success in this effort and those who are fighting for Tina. And please give her our love and our prayers. Thank you.
God bless you. I will. Thank you very much.
You. All right, Kevin Costner reveals the faith behind his new Christmas role and the tests that shaped him. We're going to talk about that when we come back. Stay with us.